All right, guys. Well, we just saw a great heavyweight fight. I love how these heavyweight fights are starting to get back into the exciting phase. And Usyk gets the decision more by a larger spread than he did in the previous fight. Obviously, with the first one being a split decision. I at about round five, after the end of round five, I said that Usyk had to basically win all the rounds after that, if not draw some rounds. I can see the 10th round being a draw, and Anthony Joshua's scorecard was a little too close. I think he's favoring him because he was British, perhaps. Who knows? But we all have different opinions. The sport is unfortunately subjective in a lot of ways. But the AI judge, I mean, heck, it goes along with my bias, but it did a pretty good job. It went a little bit maybe a farther spread for Usyk than the judges did, but it did a pretty good job. It looks like as if I'm not always right, but this time around, looks like my predictions and analysis were fairly accurate. Tyson tried to move forward more and push him back. Of course, he took on weight to do that, which I wouldn't recommend because it does cost the gas tank, which I think you saw it cost the gas tank in this fight. And Usyk did a better job stepping back and cutting some angles when Tyson was trying to come forward and holding him, particularly later in the fight. He didn't kind of fall back as much as he did in the previous fight, or at least the times he did, he didn't pay for it as much. That counter jab as a southpaw is a great thing to do, guys. You need to remember that when you're fighting if you're southpaw fighting an orthodox fighter, or if you're orthodox fighting a southpaw fighter, that jab in the middle of what they're doing interrupts them. Oh yeah, and also too, Usyk with the body head combinations, going downstairs, finishing up top. It's so brilliant. Finishing with the jab a lot of times. That's what got him this fight. And it's a good lesson in terms of boxing, right? I know people watch this for just fan purposes and things like that because they're English or they're Ukrainian or because they like one guy over the other or whatever. But from a pure boxing perspective, the boxers won out tonight in the sense you had two men that did their best to implement their strategies, and we saw very good boxing tonight in the heavyweight division. If you would, guys, comment your thoughts below. I'd love to hear what you have to say about this great rematch, and I don't think there needs to be a third one. I think this kind of puts the nail in the coffin between these two men, but it was a great fight, and like I said, I'm pretty happy that my prediction ended out just about correct, and we'll see what the AI judging does in the future. I mean, obviously, it didn't make the official decision, but it at least correlated. All right, guys, appreciate your support.